Hello and welcome. I am Matt Loveless. This is Northwest Public Broadcasting's live debate in the race for Whitman County Commissioner. Welcome to Northwest Public Broadcasting's Vote 2020 Election Night Special. Welcome to 3-Minute Thesis. We're ready for a fun next hour. What a setup we have here. Thank you to our crew out there. Tonight and all week, we'll discuss issues with candidates for more than 24 city races in Benton and Franklin counties. Still following our breaking news here at 6:41 a.m. A fire at a bar in Iroquois County. The Watseka Fire Department says Shorty's Bar is currently on fire, and we now know they have rescued a woman from the waters. We're going to show you here the overspread water from the flooded Salt Fork. This just north of I-74. A Decatur man is disfigured after somebody beat him with a bar stool. And former President Barack Obama might get his own Netflix show. Bruce Rauner signed a bipartisan bill protecting health care for more than 3 million Illinoisans. The governor signed the bill. In addition to Governor Rauner, the state comptroller says Governors Quinn, Blagojevich, and Ryan used similar practices to hide employee salaries and budgets of other state agencies. Hundreds walked out here at MacArthur High School just after 10 a.m. That followed a reading of all 17 names of the victims in the Parkland, Florida shooting. He just got back a couple of days ago from the Florida Keys. The hurricane actually passed over him. Hurricane Irma did. He says they still need water. They still need food. A lot of people down there in Florida without power. Have I been nice, though?
Well, I think the television makes you look bigger.
Wait, I'm on television right now. That's terrible news. We just heard a number of efforts to better define sex education for particular age groups. Advocates seemed opposed to a number of qualifiers. We'll start with you, Mr. Ritter. Do we get a sense as to why that is? We're on the border of a couple of states with, I think it's fair to say, different responses to COVID-19. How is the pandemic response playing out in these Idaho races? In terms of relationships with the NRA, I know certain businesses are talking about getting rid of discounts for NRA members. Are you rethinking a relationship with the NRA?
This is a 20-second voice lesson.
So I've got a news anchor trick here. Meet the ta-dum. How to end a sentence. Hi, everybody. Trying something new here. Taking a career as a news and sports anchor, TV host, public address announcer, voiceover pro, and now a college broadcasting teacher, and packaging all of that into a little advice for anybody.
This is a 20-second voice lesson.
Are you a nasally speaker? Use facial expressions. They actually help your voice. I mean, do you laugh like this? Of course not. All right, let's talk about vocal fry. We all know that Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Good evening, football fans, and welcome back to Geisa Field. And here come the crew. That guard, a 6'5" junior from Bronx, New York, number 5, TJ Bamba. Medical bills are inconvenient enough when you know they're coming, but more and more people are seeing charges for an appointment, even advice they thought was free. A new lesson in the changing world of healthcare: be careful what you say to your doctor, even about your health.
How can they treat you as a whole person if they don't really want to know everything that's happening?
Joe Dewey thought it was a pretty basic wellness visit. Basic enough, she assumed it was billed incorrectly.
Did they code it right that it showed it was an annual exam?
At the free checkup, the doctor checked her heart, lungs, height, weight, but then asked what seemed to Dewey like a standard wellness question.
Are there any other issues that you're concerned about right now? And I said, yeah, my elbow's really sore right here. I think it's like a tennis elbow.
She didn't know it then, but at that moment, it became a separate appointment, one that cost $93 out of pocket.
Then, of course, when I got the bill, I was very surprised.
Larry Mathis has had his annual exams covered by his company's insurance for decades. This year, a bump on the ankle, an ear cleaning, a prostate exam.
The total bill was probably close to $480, and it should have been $0.
Both Mathis and Dewey learned a costly lesson of the wellness check. The free appointment, an Affordable Care Act feature around since 2011, covers a basic health screening, really meant to get out ahead of potential issues, not treat ones that already exist.
There are still chronic conditions and there's still acute conditions, but the wellness portion, let's just pull all of that out into a separate visit.
By now, this is well known inside the healthcare industry, but how many patients know? According to a study of almost 6 million wellness visits in 2014, 44% resulted in a bill. The doctor who compiled that data says in these cases there was a significant, separately identifiable service provided, but admits there is definitely a variation in how doctors interpret this. Here's the tricky part. Say you're at the doctor's office and you bring up some headaches from months ago that went away on their own and didn't need treatment. Your doctor should not code that as a charge, but can if he or she decides the conversation was either extensive enough or even that it took long enough. And that's true of anything you bring up. HSHS Medical Group President Dr. Lauren Hughes says beware of these doorknob questions.
Things that as you're kind of finishing the exam, you touch the doorknob and then the patient says, oh, by the way, I wanted to ask you about this or that.
So how do you avoid this? For one, ask your doctor about the cost of any questions you might have before you seek the advice. Two, read the fine print. HSHS, for example, has patients sign a form reminding them to stay within wellness check parameters or pay.
Just know what your plan offers and when that line gets crossed.
The third option that patients are choosing more and more, don't seek the help or advice.
No, I won't mention anything. I'll say, I will preface it with, how much are you going to bill me for this?
Ultimately, a Google search helped Dewey diagnose and fix her sore elbow, something her doctor did not do. It's part of the reason Mathis, a 64-year-old with aches and pains like many his age, may just stop going.
Because I'm a little leery, and I think there's a lot of folks get like that.
And left wondering if that's a reasonable alternative. Now, I reached out to several practicing doctors, none of whom could speak on the record due to their company policies, but a few did pass on this advice. Always look over your bill. Any odd charges, question them. It's always possible something was coded incorrectly.